So now coming to cerebrum, it has two lobes called cerebral hemispheres. It has many folds that appear as elevations, gyri, and depression sulci. Sulci are very prominent and divide the hemisphere into four lobes. So these are those folds. Function is it is the seat of mental abilities, controls thinking, memory, reasoning, perception, emotions, and speech. Also, it interprets sensation and responds to pain, cold, heat, and pressure. So now let me show you. So this is the forebrain, this is the midbrain, and this is the hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. So where does the diencephalon lie? It lies between the cerebrum and the midbrain. So this thalamus and hypothalamus. It is divided into thalamus and hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is nothing but the master control of the endocrine system, which controls pituitary gland, whereas pituitary gland is the master gland. So thalamus and hypothalamus. What are the functions? It is the center for sensory impulses such as pain, temperature, light, reflex center for muscular activities, controls emotions like anger, center for water balance, BP, blood pressure, sleep, hunger. Now coming to midbrain. So midbrain connects forebrain with cerebellum and pons of hindbrain. So midbrain connects forebrain and cerebellum with hindbrain. So midbrain is between both of them. So this is a small thick stalk portion. What is the function is it relays motor impulses from the cerebral cortex to the spinal cord and relays sensory impulses from spinal cord to the thalamus. So from the cerebral cortex to spinal cord. That is, it relays motor impulses and sensory impulses from the spinal cord to thalamus and reflexes for sight and hearing. So let me tell you what I mean. So the cerebral cortex is this, right? So from the cerebral cortex to spinal cord, it relays the motor impulses, whereas from and the sensory impulses from the spinal cord to thalamus and reflexes for sight and hearing also it does. So both things, that is motor impulses from cerebral cortex to spinal cord, also relays sensory impulses from the spinal cord to the thalamus, reflexes and sight and hearing. So you can see this is the midbrain, this is the cerebrum, this is the cerebellum, this is the pons, and this is the medulla oblongata. And here you can see the thalamus and the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. Now coming to the hindbrain, it consists of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. So cerebellum, it is located below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata. It has two large cerebral hemispheres. So cerebellum is located below the cerebrum. So cerebellum and the medulla oblongata, they contribute to the hindbrain. So the function is it helps you maintain posture, equilibrium, muscle tone, and coordinates the voluntary movements initiated by the cerebrum. So cerebrum initiates the movements and cerebellum controls the voluntary movements. And medulla oblongata, it is almost triangular shape, extends from pons to spinal cord. So here is the spinal cord, right? So from the pons, so spinal cord is down. I'll explain in the later slides. So medulla oblongata is triangular shape and extends from pons to spinal cord, and the functions is it contains center for cardiac, respiratory and vasomotor activities, and it also coordinates reflex like swallowing, coughing, sneezing and vomiting.